record. Let's get started. Welcome everyone to this call tonight. We have a special call for you guys with Elise Joan herself talking all about Barre Blend, the new launch. What we'll do is we'll cover the specifics of her and the program, and if we have time at the end, we'll answer any questions that you guys have. So post them in the chat thread and we'll try to get to them. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Sydney Maurer and I'm the manager of the West Region. And like I said, I am so excited to be here tonight. Barre Blend is going to be incredible. So make sure you guys have a piece of paper out and pen and ready to take notes. I did put a whole bunch of dates I will be going over here shortly in the chat thread too. Sometimes it's just easier to copy and paste them. So I'll have that as well. Oh, they're right there for your references as well. But let's first introduce who we have on this call, and then I'll go through all the key dates. So we have a couple special teams. We have Scotty Hobbs' team, and we have Kiana Hanna's team. So Scotty, Kiana, do you guys want to say anything before we get started? Introduce your team.
Yes. Thanks, Sydney. My team is Team Empowered to Change, and I kind of co-host it with Taryn Perry, and we're all on this call. And Scotty is home with his 4 children by himself, so I'm going to help him out a little bit. And his team, Dynasty Strong, is on this call as well. And, you know, it was funny. I was just talking to him. We have a combined total of 19 years in Beachbody, him and I. And I think a combined total of 7 children. I don't know. Maybe he has some more somewhere. Like, I always lose track. 4 or 5 kids.
I have 5, but one of them's almost.
Oh, 5.
She's
Dang,
out.
sorry. Okay, 8 kids. See, there I go. Messed up. Sorry, Scotty. Yeah, and we're really, really excited to be here.
I love it. Awesome. Perfect. Scotty, did you want to say anything either?
Yeah, I'll hop on. The kids are doing all right. So yeah, I'm just super excited that you guys are all here. I've always, I've been a coach for 8.5 years. And there's a lot of times there's programs that come out and I'm a little bit skeptical that they're not my style. And then I try them and I always progress and become stronger in some way because it challenges me and gets me doing something that's completely different, which is like muscle confusion. So I have a great coach from our team here in Idaho Falls who actually started teaching Barre like 2 years ago. And I've been to the class. It's really hard. I lasted like 2 minutes before I wanted to die. So I'm sure it's not that bad, but it's challenging. It'll really work you. So that's why I'm here. That's why I invited our team to come hear what it's all about.
I love it. And I can attest to that. I did one of Elise's classes at Leadership, and it kicked my butt. So get ready, guys, and she'll go all into that. Okay, let's look at a couple key dates first before we get started with Elise. The first date you guys need to know is next Monday. It's November 25th. That's when the free sample workout will be on BOD. So what I would do is I would make sure every single one of my customers are aware and ready to go. All my coaches are aware. You're inviting people that maybe just want to test it out to try on November 25th. It's going to be before the paywall, so it's a great time to kind of come get your butt kicked, but invite a lot of other people to come join you. I think it'd also be fun to maybe do a live Zoom workout with all your customers and all your challengers and your coaches and stuff like that, and see the community part of it as well. Kind of get both tastes for that. The next one is the coach launch is from December 3rd through the 15th. Now, what's so great about this launch is if you purchase on the 3rd, you get your first 10 workouts uploaded right then and there. Okay, 10 workouts right there. And then after the 15th, they go away. So again, what a great way to kind of bring people in right from there and say, okay, come join me now, come get in and come get your first 10 workouts right then and there. So you guys can start talking about the program and knowing a little bit what it's about to have the customer launch date, which is on December 16th. So like I said, the workouts will be there from December 3rd to the 15th, the first 10, and then they'll go away. And then you can really start speaking to your customers. Say, hey, I tried the first 10 days. It kicked my butt. Who's ready to go, right? It's a great way to start talking about that as well. So that's December 16th. The VIP group with Elise is going to be January 6th through the 26th. Trust me, guys, you will want to be in this group. It's going to be incredible. She's going to go over some details of that tonight as well. VIP early access is January 13th. So the group starts on the 6th. Then there's like a week right there. The first week of it's kind of like getting acquainted with her, getting acquainted with the nutrition, all of that stuff. And then the official group starts on the 13th. And then June 1st, it'll be uploaded to the BOD membership and everything like that. So make sure you guys are really talking about it. Make sure you guys are getting people excited for it. And don't miss next Mondays. That's the big date, the free sample workout. And we all need to try this because I guarantee it's going to kick your butt. With that said, let's get started. Let's introduce the one and only Elise Joan to the call. Elise, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much for that great introduction. First of all, I'm like taking notes on all your great ideas. I love the Zoom call idea. I love all of that. And yes, the sample workout, I designed it to honestly be your best sales tool. It has a little bit of everything, gives you a feel for the program. And, you know, my goal is not just to get the people who are already in BOD doing this particular program, but to get people who haven't been introduced to Beachbody. This program is for everyone. Everyone will feel welcome. Everyone will feel challenged in the sample workout. You don't have to give credit cards or anything. So just send it out there. I'm so excited. And thank you guys so much for having me. First of all, I love seeing Scotty. Two things. One, he has his daughter with him. It looks like one of his 5 children. And I hope you guys will all bring your kids to the bar. I love seeing that. I also love my men. And I love what Scotty said, that he said, you know, a lot of times we don't know what to expect, or something we think is not going to be for us ends up changing our lives. And I'm hoping that I can convert those of you who are of that mentality. I love Kiana rocking the top knot. We're like top knot twins today. And thank you for your support. And just thank you for having me tonight to learn a little bit more about the program.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with Barre, and then how you kind of moved over to Beachbody with it.
Yeah, so you might know me as one of the co-creators of the 3-week yoga retreat. So been a yogi for a long time. But what you might not know is that my experience with Barre actually predates my experience with yoga. So I started ballet classes. My mom put me in somewhat reluctantly myself when I was about 3.5 years old. And I really think it's all about the teacher. And this is my experience at that young age. I had an amazing teacher. She was probably like 19 or 20, but felt like a grown-up guru. And instead of walking in and having us learn first position and second position and these kind of very stoic things, she turned on music and she said, I want you to dance around the room. Show me how you dance. And it was so freeing. And I learned right away that the joy of self-expression, how movement can help us find ourselves, express ourselves. It's so incredibly liberating and freeing. It's an opportunity to come out of our brains and our self-criticism and our over-analysis and instead shift it to pure joy. And I believe that your workouts should be pure joy. And I spent 20 years in the fitness industry, you know, kind of learning the best of the best from the most amazing teachers and leaders and bringing the best of everything to Barre Blend. So a little bit about my journey from there. I grew up dancing with the Virginia Ballet Company, which was a great experience. And I was a principal soloist there and got to dance in the Nutcracker and Swan Lake. I still have a soft spot for all those ballets. But I never really had, you know, what you would call like a accepted ballet body type. I'm very athletic. I've always been mesomorphic. So even though I had all the love of movement and this expression, you know, I wasn't really genetically predisposed to ballet. And I have 2 parents who have both PhDs and law degrees, and I am the oldest child and a Scorpio and like a consummate people pleaser. So it was just understood that like college was a given, and then you were going to go on to either like PhD or law degree or med school or one of those options, if not multiple. So I decided, I went to the College of William and Mary in Virginia, which is a fabulous academic institution, a fabulous place to be, and a fabulous part of my life. And I decided that if I was going to go one of those routes, I was interested in biology. I had this very intuitive experience with movement and how it felt, but I wanted to learn more energetically about the biomechanics of the human body and anatomy. And I was also drawn to biology because it was my mom's field. Her PhD from Columbia is in microbiology. She is the 2-time cancer survivor who spent her career in cancer research. And I've always been inspired by her. You know, she was doing these things, you know, back when women weren't really doing these things. You know, she got accepted to medical school in, I think it was 1969. And she decided to go for her PhD instead. But, you know, I was always inspired by how we can use our gifts to help people. So I studied biology. I started off pre-med, loved it. I was like a super nerd who would walk around the sunken gardens with my Grey's Anatomy book. So needless to say, I did not date until my sophomore year. But it was a great experience. And I also found musical theater in college. I auditioned for Guys and Dolls because there was no ballet program there, and fell in love right away. So my junior year, I drove 2 hours home to announce to my parents that, you know, thanks for the idea of medical school, but instead I'm going to move to New York and be a Broadway star. So you can imagine, like, as their oldest child, my mom had like a major panic attack and possibly a minor heart attack. And once we like peeled her up off the floor, they knew better than to try to talk me out of something that I set my mind to. And I had a feeling, I'm like, you know, I'm called to do something. And if it doesn't work out, then I mean, I can go to school another time. But they were very emotionally supportive. But of course, they're like, if you want to do that journey, you're on your own financially. So I moved to New York the fall after I graduated with $600 that I earned at Ruby Tuesdays, waiting tables at the Fair Oaks Mall in Virginia. And I pounded the pavement old school. I mean, my first apartment in New York, guys, it wasn't even a room. I shared an apartment with girls, and my room was 6 feet by 5 feet of space separated from the living room by a bookshelf. So I had a like lofted bed with like a desk underneath, and that was it. And I was just in heaven. I thought this was the greatest life. I was in New York City. And this is like back before the internet was big. Like there were no cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone. This is 1998. So I was like circling newspapers for auditions and taking multiple subways and waiting 2 hours to be seen by a casting director. And I would go to these auditions, and there would be like 200 blonde girls who look just like me waiting for the same role. And if you ever want to have a debilitating originality experience where you feel like, you're just one of many, it's a very challenging career. You learn to deal with rejection. Comparison is just something that happens. And I learned right away that, all this emphasis is placed on external appearance. And I really felt like I wanted to bring out something from within, and kind of set myself apart, I think, energetically. And I ended up getting a good break about a year in. I booked my first off-Broadway show. It was a show called Smile. It was a musical about a high school beauty pageant. And I played Sandra K. McAfee, who wins the beauty pageant. And I just thought this was ultimately ironic because my own personal junior high and high school experience, in junior high, I had a binating retainer. You had to like unscrew at lunch and screw back in to bring my jaw forward, followed by 4 years of braces. Big glasses and frizzy hair that my mom cut herself, because I didn't know that we were kind of poor growing up because my parents just showered us with so much love and attention. But I was really badly bullied in junior high school by a group of mean girls. I call them mean girls now because of the movie, but they were really popular, and I was really scrawny and pretty dorky. And I'll never forget that they voted me the ugliest girl in the 7th grade. So I just remember when I got this part in this musical where I'm playing the winner of a beauty pageant, how ironic it was, and how I wish that when I was in junior high school, I knew that everything's going to be okay, right? And that's a big message of Barre Blend. And I think that, sorry, what did you say? I thought 4 years of braces. No, 4 years of braces on my teeth. But at any rate, for me in junior high school, even when I would have these challenging days at school, I would go and dance and feel free and expressive. And so I just really believe in the power of movement. From there, I had a great career, 7 years doing musical theater until a career-ending vocal injury. I had prenodular polyps that became vocal nodes, and that ended my singing and acting career. It's actually how I found yoga. I had to go on 2 months of vocal rest, so I couldn't go to my normal workshops and classes, and I had to take a leave of absence from my show. So I found yoga and had such an emotional experience with it. I'm in the first twisting position, I just lost it and started crying, and all of these emotions came to the forefront, and I kind of realized that, oh yes, Michelle's saying dance has always been mine and my daughter's therapy. Yes, agreed. on the mat, all these emotions came out. I realized I have to deal with them. You can't just put emotions down, and you have to process and you have to move forward. And it was really through that movement that I was able to heal physically, on the vocal rest and also emotionally. And the owner of the studio saw, obviously, that I was having these emotional experiences in class, and thought I might have something to offer that was different than other yoga teachers who focus more on, reciting the sutras and physical alignment. So I got certified, and in exchange, I taught the most unpopular class time, which was 5:45 a.m. in New York City. I had to take 2 subways and a bus to get there. And, I was getting paid like $1 per person. And some days there were like 7 people there. And I thought, and I still loved it. I loved every second of it. And I thought, okay, maybe this is something that I could do. I love it. I'm clearly not doing it for the money, so I must have some passion. And I really found that I really believe, and I say this on some of these calls, that I lost my voice. It had to be taken away from me in order for me to find a newer, truer voice, because I feel more as fulfilled as I was doing theater, and I thought it would be my only dream. I'm so much more fulfilled with what I do now, and this opportunity to bring Barre Blend to you. And then shortly after I got certified in yoga, I got certified in Barre. And just to speak to you, to Scotty, I know maybe you don't know necessarily, you went with your friend to one Barre class. I know some of you have been begging Beachbody for Barre for 5 years, so you would do it no matter what. And then the other end is people who are kind of trepidatious, think you have to be a dancer or be flexible. None of that's true. This program is for everyone. So just a little bit about Barre. Barre was started by a woman named Lottie Burke. She was a dancer who had a serious back injury in a car accident and felt like physical therapy wasn't fast enough or strengthening enough. So she created her own method that was based in physical therapy. It's called the Lottie Burke method, and it's what we today have come to know as Barre. And essentially what it is based in physical therapy. So there's a focus on stability of the joints, safety of the tendons and ligaments, of course, strengthening of the muscles. It's all designed around elongating the spine and then building a strong core around an elongated spine to help prevent injuries, to help heal from injuries. She healed herself from her back injury through this program. So the answer to a lot of the questions I get, this is for everyone. As long as you've been cleared by your doctor, this is, prenatal, this is postnatal, this is recovering from injury, preventing injuries, all of those things. And I was lucky enough that my mentors in Barre they were Lottie Burke's direct proteges. So Lottie Burke started her program in 1959, I think. They were her first students, her first teachers. They taught the Lottie Burke method for 20 plus years before branching out on their own. And that's when I found them. So I'm literally certified 1 degree of separation from the Lottie Burke method. Now there's a lot of incarnations of Barre out there, but when I got trained, it was classical, much like Pilates is very classical, and it's amazing, but it's also very disciplined and very regimented, which are great things. But I felt like it lacked a little bit of joy of movement. It doesn't have a cardiovascular element. It's this is the way we do it. And it is a little bit punishing sometimes. So I wanted to keep all the burn and all the challenge and all the muscle definition of classic Barre classes, but at the same time infuse a little bit more joy of movement, some cardio sculpting intervals. So Barre Blend, that's a little bit about how and why I created it. And I shared some of that emotional stuff because the program has that element of, I know we have team empowered here, and one of my favorite affirmations is I am empowered. And it's this idea that, where we give our attention and what we speak becomes our truth. So the program is designed to help elevate you, to help awaken you to your full potential, take you out of comparison, out of self-judgment, out of self-criticism, and into your fullest potential. I want you to reach your fullest potential physically. I got arms that I didn't have before, abs that I didn't have before, and I've done fitness has been my life, my industry for 20 years, and my body has not changed like it has with this Barre Blend program. I designed it, I created it, I know it inside and out. Every class has 3 levels, very intentionally created, a modifier, a mid-level, and an advanced. There is something for everyone. This is my 4th call, so I can't remember if I shared this story. Sydney, please stop me if I did. I think I shared it on my last call, but my profession when I was teaching at Equinox, because Equinox then tapped me to create Barre programming for them. And I became known for teaching open level classes, meaning in every class, I had one class, and this is the quintessential example. My mom was there. She was visiting from Virginia. She, at the time, was in her late 60s, just recovering from hip surgery, had a bad back, 2-time cancer survivor, was in a lot of pain walking a lot of the time. She took my class, felt welcome, felt encouraged, was laughing, was having fun, having a great time. On the other end of the spectrum was Tim Tebow. At the time, he was playing professional football. He took my mind-body classes. He is drenched in sweat, covered in sweat, talking on Twitter at the time. This is, I think, Instagram was new, but the Twitter was the thing. And when he tweeted about like how challenging but how inspiring my class was, it was like a big deal. I ended up teaching Barre for the USC football team, yoga, things like that. So I'm very experienced in teaching athletes. Your athletes will burn, your athletes will sweat, your athletes will get results. But at the same time, there's an option for those of you recovering from surgery who've never touched your toes. You do not have to be a dancer to do this program. You do not have to be flexible. I'm here to bring out your inner dancer, to help you find flexibility and mobility. So the program really is for everyone. And in fact, Facebook reminded me today, it's like, this was your most liked photo from 2014. And it was me and Mike Karpenko, who's actually a Beachbody coach. And he's been taking my classes for years at Equinox, and then Tim Tebow. And I should repost it on Facebook if it's still up there, but he's like drenched in sweat. And it's just one of those things that I love, creating a program that makes everyone feel empowered at all levels.
Oh my gosh, seriously, I've done these calls with you too, and every time we talk, it's like I get more and more excited. I can't wait.
Oh, good.
Talk to us a little bit more about like the workout structure with Barre Blend. What are we getting into? What are the programs like? What are each one like? And then what equipment do we need? Give me in depth.
Absolutely. Yes. So basically what's really amazing about Barre Blend, one of the things is that it's safe to do every day. It is a mind-body discipline. We're using our own body weight and gravity, doing moves based in physical therapy and rehab, in addition to strengthening. So those of you, and I know you're out there who like love to impale yourself on fitness and cannot take a rest day, you could do the program every day, but I'll tell you a little bit about how I structured it and how we're
Olivia, I'm not eating for a reason.
That is as a 60-day program. So it's 2 months long, and it is designed 5 days a week. You'll have these very high energy Barre Blend classes. Each class, you will get full body burn. That's upper body, core, booty, hips, legs. Full body, you will burn, you will shake, you will start to feel results right away. And also every class, you will get my signature cardio sculpting intervals. This is low impact work that elevates your heart rate. So this program is actually HIIT training. It is high intensity interval training, because between every strengthening segment, you get cardiovascular bursts. So we're manipulating your heart rate to get you into that optimal fat burning zone. It is incredibly powerful, so you will get all of those things in every single class, 5 days a week. We also have, like Monday is our signature full body blend. Then we have a core-based class, a legs, a booty, cardio class. But you get all of those things in every class, just a little more emphasis on those body parts on those days. I spent 4 months creating it so that it really, every class takes you on a journey. Every class you will feel stronger. You will feel out of your ego. You will laugh as you shake. You will have fun. You will be inspired. Weekends, I created original programming. I have a roll and replenish with a foam roller. I have some yoga blend classes, or we're recommending any of my yoga classes in the BOD Yoga Studio, which actually are designed to have get well-rounded and things that are for booty, for legs, for hips, for core. You can do those on weekends, or you can do any of the Barre Blend workouts on the weekend following the modified option to get a little more alignment based and still get your burn and sweat on. A couple other unique things about the program. One is every class is original and unique. We do not take a few classes and then repeat them with slight changes. It is designed as a 60-day program, and I'll tell you my vision for it, and I hope that people will do it this way, although we'll see, because I know we all like high energy. But the modified options, I chose our most aspirational dancer to be the modifier. She's 25. She's extraordinary. She got sick results physically from doing the modifications, but my vision for the perfect way to do the program would be to go through it 3 times. First time you go through it with the modifier, you get your alignment on point, you get your integrity on point, you get that burn, you get that bliss. It is highly effective. Then you would go through it again and do the mid-level options, add maybe a pound of weight. So you go from 1 pound weights to 2 pound weights, which sound like a little, but my arms are strictly the result of 2 pound weights. I never even broached a 3 pound weight. Sometimes we put them both in one hand. And then the third time through, you might try some of the intensifier options. The intensifiers do jumps, but I teach you how to do them safely. And the other thing is we work barefoot in Barre Blend. And the human foot is designed to absorb impact. It's actually safer to jump in bare feet than in highly cushioned, highly supported shoes. That's just a fact of physiology. But I'm personally not someone who loves to jump, and I've created cardio intervals where the modifier in the mid-level will never do a single high impact option. So that's level 3. So it's designed for replayability. It's designed for you to go through 3 times minimum. But you know what? Like there's so much self-expression, so many variables. You can add a pound of weight, you can add a resistance loop, and you will get a different experience every time if you did it every day for years. So I have 10-minute enhancements. I have enhance your booty, enhance your legs, enhance your core, enhance your cardio, enhance your upper body. So you can add those 10-minute blocks to any Barre Blend class, or you can do them on your off days. So you can really structure the program to your own needs. If you want to take the 2 rest days, fabulous. If you don't, you're in good hands and you're safe to add the workouts on weekends too.
Awesome. Okay, so I also know that you're very big on mindset and changing from the inside out. And I was actually able to get my hands on the I Am Daily Motivational cards, and they're incredible. So for everyone else, tell us what those are, how you incorporate them with Barre Blend.
Yes, well, it's so important. I actually put on our apparel. I'm wearing one of our apparel pieces. It's our I Am shirt, and it has all 60 affirmations on it. And the apparel line drops the same day, and that's available to everyone too. But so the affirmations, it kind of goes back to what I shared in my personal story. We've all had to overcome things in life, whether it's bullying or challenges in relationships or whatever it is. And those things can chip away at our mentality sometimes and make us think that, we can put a lot of emphasis on what society has conditioned us to do. If you don't have a house and a picket fence and 2.5 kids by the time you're 32, you're a big loser, right? Like these are things that are pushed into our brain. And I want to push those things out and inspire you to really connect with yourself, really listen to yourself, really get in touch with what you want to create, how you want to show up. And these things change as we get older, as we have kids, as we go through different challenges. We need to empower ourselves. And so that's a big part of what the cards are. I chose 60 very intentional words, from I am empowered, I am limitless, I am triumphant, to I am patient, I am compassionate, I am present, I am calm, because we need different things in different scenarios. And they work a couple of ways. I do intentionally choose affirmation cards for some of the classes, like week 1 of core, for example. I chose I am centered because yes, getting shredded abs is important. You will get shredded abs. I see abdominals that I hadn't seen in years. But isn't it just as important that you feel centered as a coach, that you believe in what you're doing, that you're sharing wellness? Isn't it important that you're operating your family and your business from your core values? So for me, the flat abs are kind of secondary to feeling centered, being in alignment with your core values, being in integrity. And that's just one example of 60 days of messaging with different affirmations. And then you have the cards. So if you're going through a challenging time in your day, like a lot of times in the program, I would spread out the cards and have a cameraman or a cast member or one of our producers pick a card. 2 seconds later, cameras would roll, and I would incorporate that card into class. So when you see that, that's real. It's not staged. It's not like, let's pretend you just picked a card. No, I'm like, who is having a challenging day? Who needs an affirmation? They would pick a card and I would weave it into the messaging, because I do think it's that important. Beachbody is a results company, but it's no good to have a shredded body if you don't feel good about yourself and don't want to elevate others, which you guys all do as your career, so you're fortunate enough to be living in a purpose that's really changing the world.
Yes. And on top of that, the cards are really, really, really cute. Like
they are. Yes, they are cute.
They're the best cards I've ever seen. They're so cute.
Oh,
okay. Let's talk about nutrition a little bit. What do you recommend nutritional with Barre Blend, and how do you incorporate that?
Yes. Well, first of all, it's a great partnership for either of our signature Beachbody nutrition plans. Of course, Ultimate Portion Fix has helped so many people. And I would say 2B Mindset is closest to how I eat, and also a fabulous program that she deals with emotional eating. The nutrition is pretty straightforward. Like 2B Mindset, it's water first, veggies most. And with the VIP access, not only will you get our guide to nutrition and some of my favorite recipes and some of my tips for eating, some of the ways I make my Shakeology. But you'll also get access to my VIP group. And this will be something like this, only hopefully like more dialogue, with you guys talking to, but I will answer questions. We will delve into what I eat in a day, different nutritional plans. We'll delve into journaling and gratitude lists and things like that. But for the nutrition for the program, it was so important to me that you're strong enough and nourished enough to do the program, that the first 6 days are just nutrition based. So January 6th through January 13th, we will drop all of my tutorials. So I'll go over some of my signature cardio moves, some signature bar moves, Pilates moves, ballet moves that will help you to know before you start the program. And those will be 6 days to get your nutrition on point. And it's, nothing you haven't heard before, right? No, staying away from processed foods, eating, vegetables, eating sustainably sourced fish if you're not a vegetarian, or however you eat. It can support different plans. We do have a vegan plan that it supports as well, but basically it's eating intentionally. And then I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I exclusively drink kale juice and live on salads and Shakeology all the time. I eat very responsibly. I do drink Shakeology every day, so I know I'm getting my nutrition, but I'm like 80-20, meaning 80% of the time, totally clean eating, completely on point. I have developed a lot of great ways. I cook for myself and my husband cooks, so I don't eat out a lot. But 20% of the time, I will have a piece of pizza while watching football. It was my birthday in the middle of filming. I had chocolate cake. Yes, even though I'm wearing midriffs and booty shorts and stuff, because I believe that if you have your nutrition on point, you can indulge. And if you indulge without guilt, if you say, I deserve this chocolate cake, I'm going to eat it, that it's a part of eating joyfully. So it's a lot of nutrition. You need to be nourished in order to get through the program. So I wanted you to have 6 days of that before you even start.
Perfect. Okay, so I think we're about out of time. Elise, is there anything else you want to add to this group before we take off for the night?
I mean, honestly, just my gratitude. I could not be more thankful. You guys have welcomed me into this Beachbody family. I couldn't have possibly hoped for more. I hope you know that it's not lost on me that you guys are the heart and soul of this company. If it weren't for you, I would be here in my little apartment doing Barre by myself. It's because of you I'm able to share my passion and my messaging, and I have the same mission and goal as you, which is to help people live their best lives. And I couldn't be more thankful that you guys took time away from your families tonight to learn more about the program. I was commenting so much. I got such a great outpouring of love after the Meet the Trainer video dropped. If you haven't seen it, it's on Beachbody's Instagram. But I always respond to everybody. Some people are I don't know if this is you or your assistant. I'm I don't have an assistant. It's me, and I'm writing to you. But I was responding so much that Instagram blocked me from responding to any more comments because they think I'm a bot. So I have the social media team at Beachbody, but if you don't hear back from me tonight, it's because I've been blocked from commenting. But that's how much I care. I want to hear from you. I want to know how I can support you. I'm eternally grateful for you for inviting me into your homes and trusting me with this program and your health. And thank you so much. And I'm here to support you and your teams however I can.
God, thank you so much. Seriously, once again, so excited for it. Just remember, guys, everyone, Monday is the day for the sample workout launching before the paywall on BOD. Invite your customers, invite your challengers, invite new people to just come join you. I'll throw it out there. Invite 5 people. Get 5 people to come join you. Do a live Zoom. Make it fun. Bring the community in. We'll be doing it, and we absolutely can't not wait. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Elise. And we'll see you on Monday.
I can't wait. See you guys on Monday.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.